going out to a little cemetery in the country called McDowell Cemetery. I have 18 requests, however, to find lots, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them are all from one person. I think he's just shooting in the dark, hoping some of these will show up. So we'll see what luck we have finding, but I think a lot of these are not going to be at this cemetery. Okay, today we are over at the McDowell Cemetery, and I have a request for 18 graves to be found here and photoed. It's an older cemetery, but it's also still currently used. So some of these that I'm looking for are old ones, and some are fairly new. So we'll see what we can find today. Hey, this is sort of the older section, although there's a few newer ones thrown in here. Some of these I'm looking for passed away, one in 1895. Some of the others are in the early 1900s. And then over here's kind of the newer section, and there's a church behind it here. This one's not has no office here, so I have no way to find where these are, but it's a small cemetery, so I will walk around and see what we have. Oh, here's a cool one here. It has a crown on it, and a garland, crown representing victory and God's kingdom. The garland on the top here is above it is means victory over death. Well, let's go see what we can find here. Here's an interesting little section in the back of the cemetery, and check out this homemade vault. The person died in 1897, I think it is, or 1878, I believe. But that's an unusual shaped vault homemade vault they've made. And I'm going to start out here in the back of the cemetery, since everything's facing the east and all the names are this way. It should be a little easier to find what I'm looking for. While I'm in this section, there's some cool headstones with some of the older markings on it. This one has a hand shaking, and which means they're saying goodbye to their loved one. Of course, it also says farewell, so it helps you really know what that is. And of course, this one has some lilies on it, which represent resurrection. And of course, there's a mason. And you have some of these with the Bible, and the hand painting up means they're guided the way to heaven. And of course, this one's a little baby because it has the lamb on it, or a little child, 10 years old. And there's a little dove. The dove, of course, always represents peace. And of course, this one here has a rose on it, which is a fully opened rose, which means that it was a person who died at a young age in the prime of their life. I think she's only 16. Well, let's get back to looking. Oh, and here's some here that have the gates to heaven open and the book of life on top. This one also has gates of heaven that are open, and a dove for peace in there too. So. Okay, let's get back to looking what we're looking for. One of the names I have on the list is for an Ada Carpenter. She was born in 1874 and died in 1955. I think this is probably where she would be if she's here, because here's son of Ada Carpenter, son of T.W. and Ada Carpenter, and over here is T.W. Carpenter. So it's really possible she's here and just has no marker. Okay, I just walked this whole cemetery, and my odds are even worse than this one. I actually only just found a half, I guess you'd say. I'm going to give it one more walk around through here and see if I see any of these names. I've seen several of the names, but not the ones we're looking for. And I'll give it another shot, and then if not, they must have all these under another cemetery in the area here, maybe, I don't know, but we'll check it out here. Well, I'm not having any luck. A lot of the names on the list are Drake, Bishops. I've seen quite a few Drakes and Bishops. No one matching the actual dates and names that I'm looking for. There are a lot of unnamed, unmarked old headstones, things like that one down there. But a lot of those are pretty old. Most of the ones I'm looking for, I think, are from the 1940s to 70s. So I think that's going to be it for out here. I'm heading back over here to the car, and on my GPS they showed an actual second location for a McDowell Cemetery, so I'm going to just drive to that, see if there's anything there too. Well, I drove down the road that said there was another cemetery by the same name about 8 miles away. Apparently the GPS and the maps are all different. There's nothing out there. So I guess that's it for the day. This all the names on this cemetery list I had were not able to be located, and I'm just going to have to let them know, and somebody's going to have to get a little bit better information, or maybe they're at another cemetery. So until the next time, I'll see you at the cemetery.